Burkina Faso's strategic shift. Russia, China, and Turkey replace France in the fight against jihadists. Imagine this: a nation once relying on Western powers for its security has completely cut ties with its longtime ally, France, and turned to new, powerful partners. Burkina Faso, in a bold geopolitical move, is now teaming up with Russia, China, and Turkey to combat jihadist threats. But why this dramatic shift, and what does it mean for the region? Stay tuned to uncover how Burkina Faso's new alliances could reshape the fight against terrorism in West Africa. Burkina Faso, a country caught in the crossfire of a brutal jihadist insurgency, has made a dramatic pivot away from its traditional ally, France. The decision to cut military ties with France sent shockwaves through the international community, leaving many to wonder, what next? Well, in a surprising twist, Burkina Faso is now strengthening its military cooperation with Russia, China, and Turkey. These new alliances could be a game changer in the country's ongoing battle against terrorism, but they also signal a broader shift in West Africa's geopolitical landscape. Before we dive into the full story, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more in-depth coverage of global geopolitics and military strategies shaping the future of Africa. Burkina Faso's breakup with France. After months of tension and discontent, Burkina Faso officially ended its military agreements with France in 2022. This dramatic move came just as Captain Ibrahim Traoré assumed the role of transitional president. Traoré, a staunch critic of Western interference in African affairs, wasted no time in questioning the effectiveness of French troops stationed in the country. His stance mirrored those of leaders in neighboring Mali and Niger, both of which have recently distanced themselves from France in their own anti-jihadist efforts. So, why did Burkina Faso feel the need to sever ties with France? According to Traoré and other military officials, France's presence wasn't yielding the desired results in the fight against jihadist insurgents. Despite years of French military support, jihadist groups continued to wreak havoc across the Sahel region, causing widespread devastation and instability. In response, Burkina Faso's leadership began exploring new partnerships that would, in their view, better serve the country's security needs. Enter Russia, China, and Turkey. In a recent State of the Nation address before the Transitional Legislative Assembly, Burkina Faso's Prime Minister, Joachim de Tambala, announced a significant shift in the country's military alliances. 6 months ago, we were fighting a difficult battle against the forces of evil, he stated. Today, new partnerships have provided us with the resources to envision a more secure future for our nation. At the forefront of these new alliances is Russia. In recent years, Russia has made considerable inroads across Africa, offering military support and security assistance to several countries dealing with terrorism and internal conflict. Burkina Faso's cooperation with Russia is seen as a response to the failure of Western military interventions, and this shift aligns the country with Mali, which has also turned to Russian support. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. Russia isn't the only new player in Burkina Faso's fight against jihadists. China, a rising military and economic power on the African continent, has also become a key partner. In addition to providing modern military equipment, China has bolstered its influence in Burkina Faso by offering weapons and military training, further deepening ties between the two nations. Turkey, too, has emerged as a critical ally. Once known primarily for its economic partnerships in Africa, Turkey has recently expanded its influence in the security and defense sectors. Turkish-made drones, arms, and military technology have found their way into Burkina Faso's hands, enabling the country to diversify its military resources and increase its combat effectiveness. What does this mean for Burkina Faso's anti-jihadist fight? The stakes are high for Burkina Faso. For years, jihadist groups affiliated with Al-Qaeda and ISIS have terrorized the country, displacing hundreds of thousands of people and severely undermining national security. The previous reliance on French military forces failed to curb these insurgencies, and with the country's security situation deteriorating, the need for a new approach became undeniable. In turning to Russia, China, and Turkey, Burkina Faso hopes to not only strengthen its military capabilities but also regain control over its own security policies. As Prime Minister Clem Tambala emphasized in his speech, the diversification of military cooperation is not just an option, it's a necessity. The strengthening of military cooperation with the Russian Federation enhances the capabilities of military personnel and ensures better supplies of weapons and ammunition, he stated. This diversified strategy comes at a crucial time. With Western states imposing blockades and sanctions, Burkina Faso was left with little choice but to seek alternatives. By aligning itself with these new partners, the country is gaining access to advanced military technologies, including drones, armored vehicles, and modern weaponry that could tip the balance in its favor. A geopolitical shift in West Africa. Burkina Faso's decision to cut ties with France and embrace new alliances is part of a broader trend across West Africa. Countries like Mali and Niger have also distanced themselves from former colonial powers in favor of more independent, self-determined foreign policies. This shift reflects a growing dissatisfaction with the perceived ineffectiveness of Western military intervention in the region's security issues. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. In contrast, Russia, China, and Turkey have approached African countries with fewer strings attached, offering military assistance without the extensive conditions often associated with Western aid. For Burkina Faso, this new approach is appealing. With Russia supplying arms and training, China providing military resources, and Turkey introducing advanced technologies like drones, Burkina Faso is positioning itself as a key player in the fight against jihadism in the Sahel. The future of Burkina Faso's security. While Burkina Faso's new alliances have certainly bolstered its military capabilities, questions remain about the long-term impact of these partnerships. Will Russia, China, and Turkey's involvement lead to a more secure Burkina Faso, or will these relationships come with their own set of challenges? The success of this strategy will ultimately depend on how well Burkina Faso can leverage its new alliances without becoming overly dependent on any single partner. Additionally, these geopolitical shifts are likely to have broader implications for the region. As more West African nations turn to non-Western powers for support, the balance of influence in Africa could undergo a dramatic transformation. The rise of Russia, China, and Turkey in the Sahel challenges the dominance of traditional Western powers like France, raising important questions about the future of Africa's political and military landscape. Burkina Faso's bold move to cut ties with France and embrace new military alliances marks a turning point in the country's fight against jihadism. With support from Russia, China, and Turkey, Burkina Faso is not only enhancing its military capabilities but also taking control of its own security strategy. Whether these new partnerships will yield the desired results remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the geopolitical landscape of West Africa is rapidly changing. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Will these new alliances help Burkina Faso defeat the jihadist threat, or will they lead to further complications? Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all the latest developments in global geopolitics and military strategies in Africa. See you in the next video.